The median 401k balance in America is just $38,000. For most people, that's not a retirement. That's barely a down payment. Today, I want to walk you through the biggest mistakes people make with their 401k. Mistakes I've watched cost investors hundreds of thousands of dollars over a 20-year career in finance. Here's where we stand right now. The S&P 500 recently touched an all-time high above 7,600 in June 2026. The NASDAQ 100 is up over 32% in the last 12 months. The Federal Reserve, now under Chairman Kevin Warsh, held rates steady at 3.5 to 3.75%. Inflation has surged back to 4.2% year over year, driven by energy prices. The 10-year Treasury yield sits near 4.5%. The Fed's dot plot signals a possible rate hike later this year. In this environment, what you do with your retirement account matters more than ever. Mistake number 1, not contributing enough to get the full employer match. This is the most common and most costly error. If your employer matches 50 cents on the dollar, up to 6%, and you're only contributing 3%, you are leaving free money on the table every single paycheck. Over a 30-year career, that missed match can compound to over $200,000 in lost wealth. The average combined contribution rate right now is 14.2%. If you're below that, you're falling behind. Mistake number 2, borrowing from your 401k. 13% of participants currently have a loan outstanding against their retirement savings. 6% took a hardship withdrawal last year alone, up from 5% the year before. When you pull money out of a tax-advantaged account, you don't just lose the principal. You lose decades of compound growth on that principal. A $50,000 withdrawal at age 35 doesn't cost you $50,000. It costs you over $300,000 by the time you're 65. Mistake number 3, getting your asset allocation wrong. I see two extremes. Young investors who park everything in a money market fund because they're afraid of volatility, and older investors who are still 100% in equities 3 years from retirement.
With the 10-year Treasury yielding 4.5% and equity markets near all-time highs, there is real value in bonds right now. If you haven't rebalanced in the last 12 months, you're probably overweight equities by accident because of the rally. Mistake number 4, ignoring the new catch-up rules. Under Secure Act 2.0, if you're between 60 and 63, you can now contribute an extra $11,250 per year through the Super Catch-up provision. That's on top of the $24,500 base limit. And here's the critical change for 2026. If you earned more than $145,000 last year, all your catch-up contributions must now go into a Roth account, not pre-tax, Roth. If your plan doesn't offer a Roth option, you can't make catch-up contributions at all. Mistake number 5, panic selling during downturns. Only 5% of self-directed investors traded their accounts last year. Those who didn't trade outperformed those who did. The data is clear. The less you touch it, the better it performs. So what should you actually do? First, contribute at least enough to capture every dollar of your employer match. That's your guaranteed return before the market even opens. Second, push your total savings rate toward 15%. The national average is 14.2. That extra point or two of savings, compounded over decades, is the difference between retiring comfortably and retiring anxiously. Third, rebalance now. After a 21% run in the S&P 500, your portfolio has likely drifted. Lock in some gains. With bonds yielding 4+%, you're being compensated for the first time in years to hold fixed income. Fourth, if you're between 60 and 63, max out the Super Catch-up. And if you earn above the threshold, make sure your plan supports Roth catch-ups before January hits. Your 401k is the single most powerful wealth-building tool most Americans will ever have access to. Don't waste it on avoidable mistakes. In a market defined by high valuations, re-accelerating inflation, and policy uncertainty, discipline and structure aren't just helpful, they're essential. This is a long game. Play it accordingly.